I'm gonna do a quick little rundown of SQLmap, what I found while I was doing this. And my thought process and all that. So I started brute forcing it immediately. This is not gonna work. I kind of just wanted to see at this point how quick I could run through this entire RockU list. This is not too bad considering that I started it at like 8 p.m. last night, I think, because I just wanted to see. But yeah, so we know that this site is vulnerable to SQL injection. We can't get in besides using the test account. The objective was for us to create our own or find another one, basically. So my thought path was to use these and try to brute force it. But that was my starting path, anyways. But these aren't actually usernames. You'll see later on how I find that out. But so we know we can SQL inject, so we're gonna use SQLmap for it. Now you can come over here and you can use. So I dumped all I flushed my sessions so that I it wouldn't move a lot faster because there'd be things you would miss. So first thing I did was I had to start learning SQLmap. So I basically just pulled up tons of articles and videos and watched them and did that. And then the more I digged in, the more I played with it, the more I learned. Still don't know too much, but yeah. So I pretty much split my terminal here, and this command right here, SQLmap. Map dash. Not sure why is that red. There it goes. I don't know what was going on there. That was weird. Maybe there's a space there or something. Dash H gives you a big list of commands that you could use within it. And I basically just started digging through these and trying to figure out what they all did. But then you have SQL map dash HH, which gives you an even bigger list of commands. So I started digging through these and playing with them all. So that comes later on. But one of the first things I noticed was you have a wizard down here. This wizard is like, will do the work for you. It'll show you everything that's in there. Really easy. And the cool thing about this is you can do it from pretty much anywhere on the site that's PHP driven. And you can use SQL to break it. You can just copy the link, post it in here. Boom. Post data, none. Now, so this is the thing, right? You're going to crank it up, and you're going to want to, it says one normal default. So I'll show you what happens. We go through here. So basic. Now it's going to run, and it's going to do all the work for you. You're not going to have to do a lot of stuff because you see how it's answering all these questions for you down here. This is fully automated. Now this, since I flushed my session, this might take a second because the first time you're going in, it takes a second. This isn't the way that I actually ended up doing it, but I thought it was cool that you have this wizard. You could use this wizard, and if you don't know what you want, and you can have it dump pretty much everything from the server. Okay, so what do we get here? Current user. We know there's a database. Excuse me. So that was just on one basic. That's actually gave me back more than I expected the first time I cracked it. I did 3 and 3, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to dump a lot of stuff on your screen because it basically uses a dump all command, which is, where is it at? Flush session. All right, dump all should be somewhere around here. Yeah, uses a dump all. So it's just gonna dump literally everything it finds from the database. So your screen will just go and go and go and go and go and go and go. So it is cool though that it found the database, right? So now we know that there is a AccuArt database. See here, where did it go? We know what it's running. We know current user, AccuArt localhost, current database, AccuArt. So I'm assuming that that's just off of like what's here. Now, the way I actually did it was you can go to search and you can test this to see just by simply adding and see if it's going to output anything. And then you can mess around with it more. And I ended up digging through a whole bunch. There's a video that actually like shows all of this that I had found. And you see it dumps a bigger error. And so this is where I chose to like start trying to manipulate it off of this right here. And I'll show you how to do that manually also without the wizard. But it is cool that the wizard dumped out the database here, because now what we could do actually is we could take this, we can go SQL map -u for the URL. We can drop in that there and then go into -D AccuArt, because we know the database that's in there now. So now we can dump, or we can go --tables in there, and it should return what tables are in there. But I'm not sure because I've never tried it from that link. Yeah, see, it's giving us errors. See, it's giving us this crawl. So this is the thing about using this link, the login page link. It's not really vulnerable without having to put in a bunch of extra parameters in here. It wants us to like basically amp up the level we're gonna go through it. But if I take this link here, remove that because it's gonna query me a question if I don't, and then come back here and I do the same thing, right? But with this link, because I know it's vulnerable, let's see what it dumps. It looks like backend DBMS is MySQL. Do you want to skip payload specific for other DBMS? So yeah, I'm gonna skip here because it basically, this is telling me that it's weak to MySQL injection. Do you want us to skip all the other stuff? So yeah, I'm gonna skip that. Says here, do you want to extended level 1, risk level 1, value 1, and this is default and it's worked for me, so yes. And I'm just gonna have it run. So with this being the first time me going through, because I dumped my session files, this might take a second. But that is cool because the wizard let me know what database tables were in there and what databases were in there. So I know that database, specific database is in there. So I can go after this specific database and have it dump the tables from this database in here. And I could break it down even more and have it dump the columns from in here. So this -HH command is really powerful in here because you can just go through here and read through all of this and figure out what these commands do, because that's how I learned a whole bunch. Like this --tor I was messing with, you got to make sure your tor is enabled and working. There's also a check tor, yeah, here it is, so that you make sure your tor is working. But this will run you through proxies to hide you. So if you just add this command onto it, just punch in your MySQL -u, put your URL, and then --tor, and then whatever you want behind that, like -d for the database, anything like that, you're hiding yourself at that point. So that's really cool because that's the way you would actually want to do it to protect yourself. Get parameters are vulnerable. Do you want to keep testing? No. So if I say no here, it'll just attack the get parameters, and boom, it ended up dumping what I wanted. So I now know that the tables in AccuArt are artist, cards, catalog, featured, guestbook, pictures, products, users. What is that? Users. Okay, so I now know that there's users within here. So I can just up on my keyboard and I can add in here that I want it, the capital T, to go after just this table users, and then I can just dump it. Oh wait, it's double dash, I think. I can just dump the table here. Whoops. I can just dump the table here and be done with it. Let's see what it gives us. So now that it's enumerated through all of that, it should move a little bit faster. It shouldn't have to do all of that again, right? Um, do I want to store hashes? No, I don't want to store the hashes because you'll see in a second. I'll explain why I'm not storing the hashes on this one. You could dictionary attack it from here with the hash, but it's saying that this is the hash, but this isn't actually the hash. This is just what's in the cart. So yeah, you can see it dumped all the information here. The test users, which is you already know you can log in with test. It's a username and password here. But the problem is that that's the only user in here. I couldn't find anything else. Now, you can do this right here, right, with the URL that we found that was susceptible, and you can go dump all. I'm not going to do this right now because it will dump everything from the databases that it finds. I will tell you there's another database in there, and I dug through a bunch of it. Not all of it, but a bunch of it. And yeah, it took a really long time, and I didn't find anything of useful. But I am not an expert. Disclaimer. So yeah, you might be able to find something that I could not find. But then in my head, I started thinking, like, can I possibly SQL shell into this, and from there go ahead and maybe stack my own username in there, create my own username. So basically, this was turned out not being as hard as I thought it was going to be. So I wanted to clarify. I'm not sure if this actually does what I think it does, but I wanted to clarify where I wanted to shell at. So I just did it under the database AccuArt into the table of users, and then just you could see the command right here. Real simple. Like I said, read through these. A lot of really powerful commands just at the tip of your fingertips. SQL shell. And I will, like I said, post a bunch of, and boom, we're shelled in. I will post a bunch of links and stuff in the bottom for all the articles and stuff I read to get to this point. So we're shelled in. So now I want to try to do an insert command to see if I can stack my own query on there, basically make my own username. So we're going to insert into users, values, the table. So address goes first. We're just going to do this. WASU, then name, WASU, then cart, whatever. Password, WASU, username, WASU, phone number, and then email, WASU at email.com, and then close it. And so this should, if it works, stack my own information into that table. I'm not sure because I'm just now learning all of this. But as you can see, it doesn't support stack queries. So this particular database does not support stack queries. So yeah, this is as far as I got. And I'm trying other avenues now, but Mike wanted a little explanation video, so yeah, here it is. I hope that helped out. I could tell you that this was like really fun learning how to do this and just playing with all of these commands and messing around and seeing what they did. So yeah, let me know if you have any particular questions that I can help with. Like I said, I'm new to this also, so if you can help me, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks.